5 under 9 for Foxtrot. Yes, sir, we have Adams Hill site.
Got 9 for Foxtrot, center left base, runway 18, contact the tower 118.7, good day.
Alright, here left base, runway 18 tower 18.7. Have a good day, 9 for Foxtrot. Adams Tower, good morning. Skog 519 for Foxtrot on a 12-mile left base, runway 18.
194 Foxtrot, Adams Tower, runway 18, clear to land.
Alright, clear to land, runway 18, 9 for Foxtrot.
Little Rock approach, AC 4124 is 15 for 10, Sierra.
Oh, 15
AC 4124, Little Rock approach, expect runway 4 left, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 6,000.
Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Non-Rev Stories, flight stories from a non-rev. For today's episode, we are flying from Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport, Adamsville to Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Now before we get into this video, let's talk about social media. Green Brothers Flying is on every main social media platform. We are on Instagram at GreenBrothers_Flying, on Facebook as Green Brothers Flying, on Twitter at Flying Green, and on Discord. All links will be in the description below. On today's flight, we are flying from Bill and Hillary National Airport, Adamsville to Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Now, most of you are like Ryan, you always go to Phoenix, and that is true. But today is something special. Today's flight is the inaugural service on American Airlines from Little Rock to Phoenix nonstop. This service will be operated daily except for the holidays that have passed or are currently going on, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, and will be flown on the Embraer ERJ-175 regional jets holding 76 passengers. Today's flight was operated by November 273 November, a 1-year-old Embraer ERJ-175. Today's flight number was American Airlines Flight 4255 with a cruising altitude of flight level 300 or 30,000 feet. Today's route took us north of Dallas, over Oklahoma City, over Amarillo, and over Albuquerque, then into Phoenix. Anywho, enough of the flight details. Let's get into the video. I left the house super early for this flight as I had to stop and get some gas before heading to the airport, and I wanted to get there early just in case there were some pre-flight activities such as snacks, etc. Unfortunately, there weren't any pre-flight snacks or party, which I could only assume was due to the current pandemic going on. That's okay though. I got some of my own snacks for this flight as I knew it was going to be a long one and I like to eat on long flights. The snack choice today was some Chex Mix and you guessed it, a Dr. Pepper. Once I got my snacks, I went over and got my boarding pass and then sat down and waited for boarding to begin. At 3:20 local time, boarding starts. For this flight, I am in seat 3 Alpha, a window seat, and an aisle seat in first class. First class on the Embraer ERJ-175 is in a 1-2 configuration, so it is nice to have a seat to myself for this 2-hour and 45-minute journey out west. 22 minutes after I sat down at 3:42 local time, we pushed from the gate. The flight was originally scheduled for 3:40 pushback, but if I had to guess, we probably pushed late due to the fuel running late. It wasn't a problem as I knew I would have to get right back on once I landed in Phoenix as I had to work the next morning. At 3:47, we taxied to runway 22 right, and 6 minutes later, at 3:53, we took off into the setting sun. Not much happened on this flight as we reached our cruising altitude of flight level 300 and settled in. Since this flight is more than 900 miles, American offers a small snack bag consisting of a Biscoff cookie, a sanitizing wipe, and a small bottle of water for your enjoyment. About 2 hours into the flight, at 5:55 local time, we hit some light chop around the Albuquerque area. This chop lasted for about 20 minutes as we are on the tops of the clouds in this area at 30,000 feet. At 6:20 local time, 5 minutes after the light chop ended, we started our initial descent into the Phoenix area. The descent was bumpy, but not as bumpy as previously stated above. The weather in Phoenix was shockingly cloudy and a little bit cooler than normal for this time of year out there. 20 minutes after starting our descent into Phoenix, we landed on runway 26 at the Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport at 6:40. Since American parks on the north side of Terminal 4 and we landed on the north side, we had a short 5-minute taxi to the gate, which would be Bravo 14. We arrived at Bravo 14 at 6:45 local time and deplaned. Since I was on the front of the plane, sitting in first class, I was one of the first ones off the plane. After I got off the plane, I realized that I had an hour and a half sit before flying back to Little Rock, so I went to the other B concourse in Terminal 4 and got some dinner. Dinner tonight was some McDonald's, since that was one of the few things still open. What is your favorite thing from McDonald's? Let me know in the comments below. My meal from McDonald's this evening consists of chicken nuggets, some fries, and guess what? You guessed it, a Dr. Pepper. Once I got my food from McDonald's, I went back to my gate and just hung out. Overall, I'm glad I got to fly on this flight, and this was my first time flying an inaugural flight, and I've been flying for 20 years. If you are traveling and need to get to Phoenix or even the West Coast, I highly recommend this flight. If you would like to hear more about my adventures flying across the country, give this video a like, comment, and of course subscribe. Until the next video, blue skies in a tailwind, and happy holidays from Green Brothers Flying.